watching, I can only tell you that it has been an honor and a privilege to come into your homes all these years and entertain you. And I hope when I find something that I want to do and I think you will like and come back, that you'll be as gracious in inviting me into your home as you have been. I bid you a very heartfelt good night.
On May 22, 1992, an era of television history came to a close as Johnny Carson, the undisputed king of late-night television, hosted his final episode of The Tonight Show. Carson's departure marked the end of a remarkable 30-year tenure that left an indelible mark on American culture. This farewell night was emotional and unforgettable. The famous Tonight Show. Johnny's ascension to the late-night throne did not come about easily, nor by accident. Born in Iowa and raised in Nebraska, the self-admittedly shy John William Carson learned magic tricks and drumming to learn how to control an audience. After a stint in the Navy, he started hosting and writing for various radio and television programs. That led to his hosting the game show Who Do You Trust in 1957, where he first met sidekick Ed McMahon. Meanwhile, NBC was searching for a new host of their late-night program, The Tonight Show, after the first host, Steve Allen, had vacated the show for prime time, and his successor, the brilliant but erratic Jack Paar, had grown tired of the job. Carson officially took over on October 1, 1962, beating Bob Newhart, Jackie Gleason, Joey Bishop, and Groucho Marx. Like most of his early shows, that first episode, shot at 30 Rockefeller Center in New York City, is lost, although the audio of the episode can be heard in the King of Late Night documentary. Carson was no exception to the poor reviews given to most late-night hosts upon their outset. The New York Herald Tribune wrote that the host had no apparent gift for the performing arts. Of course, by 1966, the Herald Tribune would be gone, and Carson's star would only be rising. In 1969, the on-air wedding of singer Tiny Tim and Miss Vicky was watched by 58 million viewers, or 85% of the total television audience, a late-night record. By the mid-1970s, Carson's command of television was indisputable. He had moved the show to Burbank, Cali, where he was one of the few television stars who outshone the top Hollywood celebrities of the day. His show, now shot in color, took on a more relaxed, stylish attitude. He even hosted the Academy Awards 5 times between 1978 and 1983. So, Johnny Carson took over The Tonight Show and quickly became a beloved fixture in American homes. His quick wit, charm, and impeccable timing endeared him to millions of viewers. Carson's monologues, filled with topical humor and delivered with a knowing smile, became a nightly ritual for countless Americans. Throughout his career, Carson conducted approximately 22,000 interviews. From Hollywood stars to politicians, musicians to authors, Carson's guest list was a who's who of contemporary culture. His ability to connect with guests, putting them at ease while drawing out memorable moments, was unparalleled. Iconic interviews included conversations with legends like Frank Sinatra, Muhammad Ali, and Elizabeth Taylor. Carson's Tonight Show was not just a place for established celebrities, it was also a launching pad for new talent. Comedians such as Jerry Seinfeld, David Letterman, and Ellen DeGeneres all received significant career boosts from their appearances on Carson's show. A spot on The Tonight Show often meant instant recognition and a significant career milestone for many performers. Johnny Carson's influence extended beyond comedy and entertainment. He played a significant role in shaping public opinion and reflecting the cultural zeitgeist. His sketches, like the character Karnak the Magnificent, and recurring bits, such as Stump the Band, became part of the national conversation. Carson's show was a place where Americans could laugh at themselves and the world around them.
I don't know this gentleman. Are you any relation to Fred Silverman?
Johnny Carson's contribution to television and American culture is immeasurable. His ability to entertain, engage, and connect with audiences set a standard for late-night television that remains unmatched. Carson's legacy lives on, not just in the countless hours of footage that continue to entertain new generations, but also in the way he shaped the role of the late-night host. The Day in History, Johnny Carson's final episode. As all good things must come to an end, Carson announced to a shocked audience of NBC affiliates in 1991 that his reign as the king of late night would end the next year. But either way, Carson made the decision to soon after vacate The Tonight Show desk. During the 30th year he hosted the show, despite bringing in good ratings. The final episode of The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson was a nostalgic and emotional affair. Unlike his usual format, Carson chose not to have any guests. Instead, he shared the stage with his longtime sidekick Ed McMahon and bandleader Doc Severinsen. The episode was filled with clips of memorable moments and heartfelt reflections. The monologue, preceded by a historical montage beginning with a transcription of the opening of his first show in 1962, was cool and humble. His humor, as always, was Midwestern tongue-in-cheek and funny. Carson's farewell monologue was poignant and reflective. He expressed gratitude to his audience, his crew, and his family. "I am one of the luckiest people in the world," Carson said. "I found something I always wanted to do, and I have enjoyed every single minute of it." His departure left many viewers teary-eyed, marking the end of an era. Following his retirement, Carson retreated from the public eye, making only a few rare appearances. His departure left a void in late-night television, and his successors, including Jay Leno and David Letterman, often spoke of the daunting task of following in his footsteps. Carson's influence, however, continued to be felt in the tone and format of late-night shows that followed. He told his audience that the years of fame meant a lot to him, and said he'd do it all over again. He joked about General Electric and thanking Dan Quayle and the previous 7 vice presidents who had provided him with such good material over the years, said he was going to join Murphy Brown and become a surrogate father to that kid. There was a filmed look at The Tonight Show backstage, Carson efficiently preparing, preening, and getting into character while his staff rushed frantically to make sure the millions of viewers would be satisfied. When it was over, tears came to his eyes, and the scrolling credits froze briefly on a sunset photo over which his late son Rick's name was superimposed. For a moment, the Carson years seemed all too brief. As we look back on May 22, 1992, we remember Johnny Carson not just as a television host, but as a cultural icon who brought laughter and joy to millions night after night for 3 unforgettable decades. Carson never did return to TV outside of a silent guest appearance on Late Show with David Letterman, the CBS show hosted by the mentee of Carson. When Carson passed away in 2005, Letterman performed a monologue entirely of jokes that Carson had sent him, only then revealing that Johnny had been quietly sending jokes to Dave throughout his retirement. Donald Trump wants to bring back Johnny Carson. Donald Trump railed against the state of late-night television during a rally in Pennsylvania for his presidential campaign. He claimed the late-night shows hosted by Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, and Jimmy Kimmel are all dying, and added, "These 3 guys are so bad." FYI, Trump is often the target of jokes on these programs.
He misses the original king of late night, Johnny Carson.
They're all dying. Where's Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny. It made you appreciate, right, Uncle Sam?
Trump expressed his dissatisfaction with these programs and called, "These Tonight Show are all dying. Where is Johnny Carson? Bring back Johnny." It made you appreciate the greatness of Johnny Carson. These 3 guys are so bad. Not only for Trump, but also for many viewers, despite the emergence and success of many other Tonight shows, no one could replace Johnny. It seems that the name Johnny and his late-night conversations have become a symbol of television history and American culture. It's very difficult to find a second Johnny and a second Tonight Show.